Hello everybody, this is Anuj Tripathi and you are watching the Review Universe aka TRU podcast. So we have conversation with authors regarding their book, regarding their journey and the vision behind their book. So today on the podcast we are joined by Aalok Khurana, author of Once in a Lifetime, an Indo-Global geopolitical thriller set in the year 2030, a world shaped by deepfakes, AI warfare, silent missions and blurred borders. Alok's journey is an unconventional as his storytelling, from chemical engineering and corporate life to restoring a heritage hostel in Goa, and now writing high stakes thrillers that feel less like science fiction and more like tomorrow's headline. The conversation dives into the idea behind once in a lifetime, the fear and possibilities of future warfare, and the human cost of decisions made in silence. So, Alok, welcome to the show.
Hi, Anuj. Thank you so much for calling me here and a big hello to your audience.
Yeah. Okay, so Alok, your journey spans engineering, corporate life, hospitality, and now fiction. How did storytelling become the medium you chose to explore those complex ideas?
So, storytelling and eventually becoming an author came much later in my career. Uh, Most of my career, I have been doing my business into retail garments. However, I love traveling. And a decade back or 15 years back, I started traveling. That time, Facebook was very popular. There was no Instagram that time.
Yeah.
And on Facebook, rather than just putting pictures of my travel, I thought I would write a few description about the pictures, because I wanted to share what I was experiencing rather than just showing the pictures. So when I wrote about those pictures, it came out in a very different way rather than just, saying where I am and what this monument is. I somehow could make a story out of it. And that got validated by the response I got from my viewers. Of course, those were all my friends and families, but the response I got was, "You have a knack for writing, and we are really hooked on to what you're writing, and we are looking forward to where you'll be going the next day." So I used to write blogs, travel blogs, day wise, and leave the day at some interesting time, and then pick it up on the next day. And if I didn't, I had not thought of doing something like this. It just I wanted to have fun while posting, and my audience, which were my family and friend, really liked that, and they encouraged me. So that's how it started. Once I was back from travels, many other travels happened, and my family and friends were like, "You should actually think about writing something because you have a knack for it." I thought about it myself and I tried writing something. So I wrote a few blogs, many more travel blogs, a little write ups, and things flowed easily for me. Even it was a nice, pleasant surprise for me. I hadn't trained, I hadn't planned to become a writer of a book or publish a book, wasn't anywhere in my career chart at all. And what happened in the past few years was I had time, businesses had settled. Probably in the lockdown period, I started writing on my first manuscript. And that first manuscript is still under construction. But that's where the writing started. And just a year back or a year and a half back, I got the idea about this book, which we can talk later. But it just so much caught on to me that my earlier manuscript is still in the making, whereas I completed this and it got published. So I think even books have their destiny. That book is still about to get published, whereas this one is already out.
Got it. I'm myself writing a book for like 2 years right now. Like I haven't been able to finish that one as well. Okay, so the
The best
moving
way
on to the
forward.
yeah, you describe yourself as the accidental storyteller. What moment made you realize this story had to be written?
So this particular story which I have written, which is called Once in a Lifetime, the seed was planted in my brain maybe a year and a half back when, or maybe a little before that, when the Ukraine Russia war started. And this wasn't your conventional war. I mean, we would hear so much about drones being used, and there was this spectacular attack by Ukraine,
Yeah.
where they hit the drones in transport vehicles, which went deep inside Russia, and then they deployed it. So it all like also the Israel Hamas war,
Hamas
where
war.
Israel was doing notorious stuff like blowing up their pagers. It's like, what is this world? This is not your conventional war, and probably the world will never go back to conventional war. Wars would be fought in the shadows here onwards.
Yeah.
And then somehow I was thinking, like, what if India gets into a confrontation or a war, do we have those technology, and how, if we would have, because all big nations and armies would need these technologies, how would they be deployed? So this seed got germinated, like, you know, what if our country is at war, how technology savvy are we, or we could be, or we can get, and that's how the whole thing started, I guess.
Got it. Okay.
This is
So
also this is also retrospective. When it was happening, it wasn't a I hadn't decided that I would be writing this. It just came into mind, and even I was thinking how it came to mind. And this is all retrospective. What I'm talking to you.
got it. Okay. So once in a lifetime is set in 2030. It feels like disturbingly close to our present. Okay. So what real world developments inspired your future scenarios? Like you have already said about Russia and Ukraine war and the Israel Hamas. So some other things as well.
Oh, so many. So the Ray-Ban glasses, which have come recently,
Yeah.
which have cameras, and you can interact with them. So I have used that technology in the book. So there's this main character in the book by the name of Indira Rai. She is Indian Foreign Service official, and she is giving uh, a press bite to the press. And as of today, the press doesn't carry camera in my book. They just wear those
Yeah.
eyewears, and it gets recorded and relayed to the studio directly. So such small things, I imagined like 5 years down the line, how it will be adapted in mainstream life. And that's why I also placed the book in 2030, which is not very far away, because we don't know very far away how the technology will be. And 2030 is like pretty close. And I feel, yeah, all these things would. I mean, this is my imagination. It might not happen this way, but it seems believable.
Got it. Like in the early 2000 movies, we have seen like there will be like flying cars till 2025 or 30. So what are the possibilities we are looking
Yeah.
here?
So I don't have flying cars in my book, but there's a small unit of the Indian Army, of the Indian Special Forces,
Yeah.
which has infiltrated the enemy territory. And without going much into the book, they have exoskeletons. Now, what exoskeleton is, to easily describe, like an Iron Man suit,
Got it.
right? Which a person will wear, and the endurance, capacity, everything will be enhanced. So I have imagined that these they are all having exoskeletons. That's why they can cover distances faster. They in different climatic conditions, whether it's too hot or too cold, the exosuit protects you. Plus, it is integrated with the AI, so you get live feed about your surroundings. So it is like being in a video game, but you're actually there. Uh, and what I have tried to say is, with all this technology, the exosuit, the information coming through AI and other audio-visual receptors, still the final decision has to be taken by a human. Whatever that
Got it.
decision will be in field or in academics or elsewhere, the final decision, still the button has to be pressed by a human. Maybe far ahead in the future, even that won't be required. That's why it's in 2030, where at least I hope till 2030 the button is pressed still by a human and not by a robot.
The book. Okay, so the book opens with the idea that the most important battles aren't fought in daylight. So why the silence such a central theme of this story?
Uh, the wars always have I mean, deception has been a key criteria of any war or battle or a skirmish. You can't let the enemy know what you're doing because the enemy would be prepared otherwise, right? And so now that you ask the question, I recall everything started getting more discreet, and the element of surprise is the most important in any battle. And with technology, that element of surprise is only getting more sharper. And that's what I tried to say over here, that the battles and the wars won't happen openly. The countries won't challenge each other openly, but they would, like what happened recently. The American just picked up the
Yeah.
Venezuelan president from his house. Nobody knew what was going to happen. They just dove in, picked up, left. So that happened in the shadows, right? Nobody was declaring. So that is what we are going to see more and more. And it is only possible because of technology. And it is not that that technology is only limited to military. We can actually feel the presence around us as well.
Okay, so is this more scary? Like it is scary. You can feel that things. But what are your point of view in these technology and how are they going to be used?
So, as is with technology over the human evolution, they have been used for good things and bad things. So that's how it's going to be going ahead. It can technology can be used to do wonderful, amazing things for the humanity and this for the world, and at the same time, the same technology can devastate our world. So it totally. I mean, and it would happen both ways. I'm not saying
Yeah.
it would. The technology would either do good things or bad things. It will do both the things, and that's how it has been in the human history, and that's how it will be. It's just a tool. Humans are the same.
Okay. So the novel blends geopolitics, AI, misinformation, espionage, and military precision. So how much research went into building this world versus the imagination? Like you have
So
researched for a long time.
yes, so that was fun because this story once I built it. So there are three main characters. One, as I told you, is an army unit which is led by Captain Aalok Singh. He's one of the main guy in the battlefield with the exosuit and his unit, and right in the thick of the action. There's a second character which I mentioned earlier. She is a middle-aged woman from the Indian Foreign Services. She's the ambassador of India, and she's shuttling the globe, going across to different countries which are friends of India, neutral to India, and foes of
Yeah.
India. And wherever needed, she is coercing them, she is convincing them, or she is outrightly lying to them, hoodwinking them. So because that's what a job of a ambassador is. And then there's a third character, Dr. Bhargavi. She is a space scientist because all this communication, all the technology at the end of the day is running on internet. And
Yeah.
if there's no internet, and as we have seen, satellites play a major role in communications. So she is a satellite scientist, and her role is to take care of enemy satellites. At the same time, keep our satellites focused so that the team on the ground gets the help that they need. And all the three characters are not. They don't know about each other. They just have been given a timeline, and they have to achieve their respective tasks at the time, and otherwise they will be catastrophic. Now, coming to your question, like about the research, the first when a broad story came to my mind about these three characters and how they will be. So the first character of Captain Arav Singh was pretty easy because it was more macho, more soldier-like. Of course, there were many uh, technological, advanced, futuristic things that I incorporated, but it was still, we had seen so many movies on
Yeah.
soldiers, so many books, so it wasn't that difficult. The second character of Ambassador Indira Rai, I had to research a little. I personally very much interested in geopolitics of
Me
the
too.
world. Yeah, I read. I earlier I used to read the papers a lot. Nowadays, you see all the news and podcasts and Twitter, around the world, and you try to make sense of it. It was a thing in our house. It is still. So we are very much geopolitically inclined. So that also came pretty much naturally to me. Where I had a challenge technically was the third character was of Dr. Bhargavi, who's a space scientist. And all I had formed in my mind was that she needs to control the satellites.
Yeah.
Okay. Other than that, I had no idea about the terminology, about what a space scientist actually does. So in the initial days when I started this book, I talked to a few people, but then I understood uh, that wasn't the fastest thing, and I mean, I wasn't getting the correct response. Probably it was, my lack of communication, which I wasn't getting proper feedback of what I wanted to. Or maybe sometimes I used to remember questions in the middle of the night. Now I cannot follow people in the middle of the night. So this is where AI came really in use. I used AI tools, and it's written on the front page of my book that I have used AI for this novel, not in writing the story, but for the technical know-how
Yeah.
that I needed about the characters. So that's what I've written, and it was a big revelation. Big revelation. I could write so many things. So many things. I had to understand what it was prompting me because even I was not aware. I tried to simplify the language of what it was prompting me. But yes, about the technical, futuristic literature, it is mostly derived by prompting AI engines.
Got it. Okay, so like I am myself interested and curious to learn more about geopolitics. So I want to know like how you got all these details about the foreign officer. Okay, so like these things are not present in the like online surface or something. So where can we access these things and know how these things work?
Well, there's no one place where it is there that you
Yeah,
go and you access it. Of course, any student of UPSC and MPSC does know how a foreign service official work. So, as I said, over these many years of watching news and politics, what goes behind the closed doors and the statement that comes of
yeah,
any uh, foreign dignitary visits or we have any negotiations. There's a official statement which to normal people sounds very vague. You
yeah,
have to read between the lines, and that used to be fun. Like at my home with my dad, he used to make me understand when they write this, what they actually mean is this, and they will
exactly.
never let you know the public what it means. It's always vague, and that. So I started reading it even more attentively, and with the incoming of digital media, now there are so many political analysts and commentators who decipher what
Yeah,
they would have meant. So that gives you a fresh perspective. Oh, this statement means maybe this they wanted to indicate this, or they want to brush aside this. So I find it a lot of fun hearing those. So if I want to suggest anybody to understand more of geopolitics, rather than the sensational headlines, listen to the official statements that any officials
yeah.
read. They are very every word is there for a purpose, every punctuation there is for a purpose. It's not a random statement that they are making. Of course, Donald Trump is an exception. He's rattling whatever he wants, but otherwise in general,
He just
if you
comes
see,
and do press conferences
absolutely not even
and
press
go.
on wherever a mic is presented to him, he will just rattle. But if you see our Indian foreign service is very professional. Some European foreign services are
Yeah,
very professional. They talk to the point. Every word is measured. You know that word is there for a particular reason. There could have been a different word, but there's so many. You improve your vocabulary also so much by listening to all of this. It's fun. So anybody interested in literature, in geopolitics, and the nuance of a language would really enjoy listening to this.
got it. Okay, so there is a strong ethical tension, like scientists betraying personal values, diplomats holding truth, hiding truth. Uh, did you want readers to question where they would draw the line?
I leave that to the readers. So in the story, yes, a couple of my characters had to undergo a moral dilemma. Uh, but the dilemma was their profession, the integrity to their profession versus the call of the nation.
Okay.
So they were at clash, and they choose one over the other. The audience would only come to know when they read the book, and I leave it to the readers whether, see, it's a work of fiction at the end
Yeah.
of it, right? So there's no right or wrong. It's a matter of perspective. So I leave it to the readers. I am nobody to say whether this is right or wrong. This is a story, and that character behaved in that particular way in that particular
Situation.
instance.
Yeah.
So that's all there is to it. The rest I leave it to the audience. I have no problem if you don't think how I think or you think how I think. It's a total work of fiction.
Got it. Okay, so like this book isn't sci-fi. It's closer to predictive fiction. What part of once in a lifetime do you believe could realistically happen first?
Oh, lots. That's why I have mentioned 2030 and not like
Yeah.
2045 or 2050 because, oh, so many things. So, one thing that I came about this idea, and I was also like pretty surprised and pretty happy with that idea that I came about was this ambassador, Indira Rai, the character. He's having a meeting with foreign dignitaries. And after exchanging pleasantries, what she does is she takes out a device, which is no more than a cigarette lighter,
Okay.
keeps it between them, and presses a button. So basically, what that device does is, in a radius of 10 feet, it blocks or jams all electronic devices because they
Yes.
need the secrecy. And, in foreign services, they are all spies. You
Yeah.
don't want the information to leak out, or you don't want anybody hearing you in. So I have imagined that, there is this device, everybody carries it. Like, even I see in civilian life, maybe some people would like to carry that because they don't want the cameras, everybody
Yeah.
clicking photos. Maybe some people find it too much invasion of privacy, and they might carry the small device wherever they are sitting. They put it and switch it on, and in like 5 feet or 10 feet radius, no electronic device would be able to interrupt them. So this is one thing. Or maybe in classrooms, you can use
Yeah.
this or in theaters, wherever you don't want interference of modern technology. Just put this device, plug it on, and it will blank out all electronics. I see one of this idea becoming a reality very soon. Of course, the eyewear is a reality,
Yeah.
but Meta eyewear, but the use of it would definitely increase so much more. Right now it's used more to click pictures and videos while people are traveling or for content creation. But the usage of that would go much beyond,
Yeah.
because it's just like once you integrate it with the internet, there may be a Starlink where anywhere in the world you
Yeah.
can just relay what you are seeing. It totally changes the dynamics, and imagination is not even imagination is a limit.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. So, and these things are happening while we are talking. These things are happening. So, yeah.
Okay, the idea behind the device you have said, like it is kind of like I'm curious to know more about it, but maybe there should be some regulations to regulate that thing. Otherwise, it can be misused as well. Like if we see in that way.
100%. But regulation won't be that easy.
Yeah,
Uh, like there are regulations on drones, as you know today, but so many people just fly their drones without checking the regulations.
exactly.
Uh, you would know there are regulations to fly. In most of the places, you just can't fly a drone. You need
Yeah,
to inform the
no fly
authorities,
zone.
get permissions. But hardly anybody knows this. They just fly their drones and get footages. So, of course, there should be regulation. But with technology, I don't see the regulations getting implemented very well. It's going to be very difficult because it's going to be so easy, so widely available. Uh, it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like when you are saying these things, I have there are thoughts in my mind constantly going regarding this. Okay,
There's VPN. If in today there are regulations over the internet, right? There are some sites which are not allowed, but people just use VPN, get through that. So people will get through regulations. So it's good to have regulations, but in a real world, it's
it will not be
generally not
possible.
possible. Not possible.
Okay, so coming back to the book, who would you imagine your ideal reader while writing this? Like policy thinkers, thriller lovers, or everyday citizens?
So I wrote it purely because I love fast action thrillers. Action doesn't mean necessarily it has to be physical action, right? There has to be something moving. So anybody who is on OTT watching series nowadays, which are fast action and they get done in like 2 3 days, or at binge watching in a night, this book is for them. It's not a big book. It's a novella. That's why I call it a novella. It's much smaller than a regular novel. So anybody who wants, escape into a futuristic world which seems very close, is fast paced. You once you pick up the book, you would want to know what happened next. What happened next? It's fast. It's entertaining. It might be thought provoking. So what the feedback that I have got is a little elderly audience which has read this book. They have tend to got lost a little because of the technology. But
Got it.
I'm talking about 60, 65 years of age, which is understandable because technology is changing and adapting so fast that I understand maybe that generation for
That
them
is
it is something like sci-fi, total sci-fi.
that is completely reasonable as well.
Exactly, exactly. So, but for anybody from 50 to below. In fact, much younger audience, they may be in the early 20s or even in their teens. They are loving this book because those are the people who are more excited about the future. They like technology, and suddenly uh, it is opening up a lot many things. There are three characters. Two characters are women, so a lot of women loving this. Young women, yeah. So mostly youngsters who want a great read, quick read, uh, who love thrillers. All those are the main audience.
Okay, so coming back to the book, matlab, is once in a lifetime is a standalone story, or could this world expand into larger series?
It definitely has the scope. Uh,
Okay,
but as said right at the beginning of the podcast, there's this another manuscript which I started, which is still incomplete. So I think I feel a little unfair towards that manuscript, and my all energies are trying to complete that manuscript. But you nailed it, man. Uh, so this book, the story of this book ends over here. No
got it.
doubt, this story won't be able to continue. But every character might get a new book. A
Got it.
new story can be woven for every character, or there could be other skirmishes. So I have focused on one particular geographical location where this all story is taking place. Similarly, on similar lines, there could be another uh, story. The characters can be woven off into their stories. So there's scope. There's a lot of scope, but I mean, I would be glad if some of your audiences come up with some idea and inform me, like, maybe we can take it from here, you can take it from there. That would be fun.
Definitely, definitely. Whoever watching this, just take this idea and give your feedback to Alok as well. Okay, so this is the like one last question. If a reader finishes once in a lifetime and pauses for a moment, and what is the one question you hope that stays with them?
One question, even after all of this technology and futuristic scenarios that I have depicted, the one question, or it's not a question. The one thought that will remain with them is the true heroes. They don't work for glory. They are not working for glory, even as we speak right now. And it's so easy not to, uh, recognize them because they don't have faces. But they are working in the shadows, and that's what will remain with my audience once they finish the book. And
Got
they
it.
are giving their best without knowing that they would ever be recognized. Those are the real heroes.
Okay. So one last message you want to give to the listeners who is listening on Spotify or whoever watches in YouTube. So one last message regarding the book.
And last and only message: go pick up my book. It's available on Amazon. I guarantee you, you'll have a fun time reading it. It's quick. It doesn't get you bored. It goes fast. There are three characters: two a woman, one is a military commander. So, and there is action, there's emotion, there is technology, there is comedy. So everything in a very short novel. So it's a quick read. It's a fun read. I'm sure you won't be disappointed.
Okay, so whoever watching this on YouTube and listening on Spotify, just go to the description. The book link is there. You can go and check it out yourself. And also give your feedback to Alok as well. I will attach here all social media platforms. You can go and give your feedback to him and whatever you think about the book and the new ideas as well as he already said
Yes.
about this. So thank you so much, Alok, for coming to
Thank
this
you,
show.
Anuj. Thank you for calling me. This was fun. Thank you.